What's up, party people of the MOB, the Mob, Members Only Baseball? What's going on? What's happening? What is cracking? Look at everybody dancing in the chat. What's up? What's up? I see you. Even Bob Funk, who's half asleep after driving 17,000 miles today. Bob, where'd you drive from and where'd you drive to? Did you drive home or did you leave home to go somewhere else? Are you on vacation? Is it a work trip? We need the deets, bro. You got to give us the deets. Anyway, welcome to... Ready for this? Look at this shit. This is the very first ever in the history of the world. The first Mondays in the Mob. I appreciate everybody being in the chat. There's not a lot of you, but what do we got? Almost 20. We're good. Well, it's not too shabby considering we only have 39 in the whole fucking thing. As soon as Bob Funk says his thing, I'll broadcast it. But in the meantime, let me check the chat real quick. Crazy Canuck was the first one in, followed by Corn King. And then Jeff Banfield, Gluda, Biff, Gunny, Freddie, Nate, Annie, Bob, Chris Lee. Did I say Biff already? I feel like I did Biff already. Hey, yo. Let me see here. And then who's hiding? It's got to be Twin Screw. Hey, Twin Screw, what's happening? Freddie, Dave, Benji. Benji's hiding back there too. Benji, what's up? And I think that's about it. It's about 20 of us. That's fine. That's good enough. Bob Funk says, I drove home from just outside Indianapolis to home. My aunt's funeral was this weekend. Bob, sorry to hear that. Deaths in the family are never easy. Glad you made it home safe, and glad you're with us tonight. You're not the only one with us tonight, though. I got a couple peeps with me here. As we move forward, we'll probably have different people. We'll have some more people, depending on people's availability, et cetera, et cetera. However, tonight, for the very first show, I've got two people joining me. First person is everybody's favorite pitcher with a handlebar mustache. Mr. Greg Soto's in his house. Greg, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Welcome to the program, man.
Hey, what's up, Dave? No, awesome to be here. First ever MOB. Mondays in the MOB. I'm loving it, man. Thanks for having me on.
Appreciate that. And then, is it possible to do a show without having stats? I think not. So we must have sometime this afternoon, actually probably the other day, but I'm going to go with this afternoon because it sounds better in the story. I put up the stat man signal, and he responded, and so he's here tonight. Special K's in the house. Keith, what's up, buddy?
Oh, you already know when I see that emblem in the sky, that means there's action coming.
Stat man. All right, hold on. Oh, are you messaging me right now? Oh, yeah. I guess I should do that, huh? Dude, can you tell I haven't done this shit for a while? I forgot to stream in the...
Fuck the stats guy, man. This guy's so boring.
I forgot.
Oh, God damn it.
Oh, shit. Look who's going to just jump in. Hold on a second. I got to remember how to... Yeah, let me do that, bro. I'm sorry. Hey, everybody, I got to share my screen real quick. I forgot about that shit. All right, Greg and Keith and Ray, you guys should be able to see my screen now, hopefully.
Yep.
All right, we're good. All right, see?
I thought we were just going to Stevie Wonder it all.
Hey, you know what? I heard a rumor that he's not even blind, that he's faking it. So just... Have you guys seen the YouTube video where somebody walks by him on stage and he knocks over a microphone, he reaches out and catches the fucking thing? Come on, man.
I have seen that, yeah.
That's great. What's that?
You haven't heard of reflexes?
When you're blind?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, bro. Chris says, darn you, Dave, reading what I was typing as I was typing it. Earworm. Is that what you're talking about? There you go. And look at Tommy Gunn's in the house as well. I think I shouted everybody else out. So I want to welcome everybody to the very first episode of Mondays in the Mob. We're going to do this every Monday. It won't be a huge show. I think we'll go about an hour and 5 minutes, something like that, give or take, 20, 30 minutes, whatever, however that works. But we've got some topics. If you saw that I posted them today, we're going to talk about a few different things. But before we get in there, I do want to say a couple things to everybody real quick. Everybody got their earnings in time. There's a few that you won't see posted yet because I had a DM with some people about fixing some stuff. But that's all. Everybody got either their earnings or their saves in on time. So that's good. Congrats, everybody. Like I mentioned earlier, first team done was the Cubs. They were also the first team that got their roster done, I think. So Cubs are on the ball this season. I was going to try to add up and post the overalls tonight. So remember, I told you guys the team overalls before the season. But because I don't have all of them inputted yet, once I do that, I'll post that tomorrow. And then I think that's all I got. That's it. All right, so topic number 1. Greg and Keith and I were DMing today, talking about different topics. I posted them in the mob orders. So hopefully you guys read that and you remember. And if you don't, well, you're about to fucking find out now anyway. So I think what we'll start out with. What do you think? What do you think, Keith? Should we start out with the cards thing, or do you want us to go somewhere else?
We can start wherever the hell you want to start.
All right. I'm just trying to pull up. I was actually stalling for time. I was stalling for time as I was pulling up the list. I love how Ray's here. Ray's going to be totally unprepared. He's just going to interject shit, and he's going to make the show fun. Watch this.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
Actually, I don't know where the fuck I posted. Did I not post it in here?
It's in broadcast.
Oh, it's in the broadcast. See? Thank God other people are here right now. Because these shows start off the rails all the time anyway.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Oh, no. We're going to start with the archetypes. Let's do that first. So, topic number 1, everybody. And I want to thank Keith for making up. He got this spreadsheet. But before I do, let me ask the people in the chat. And then I'm going to go to Greg. I'll go to Ray. And then we'll go to Keith. Because Keith already knows the answer. But who do you guys think pre-progression, pre-earnings, which of the archetypes had the best week 1? We got the McBonzo, we got the Average Joe, we got the Ozzy, we got the Ricky Henderson, and we got the Tony Gwynn. People in the chat, what do you guys think? Which archetypes had the best opening week 1? And as they are typing in there, Soto, let me go to you. You had an interesting point earlier. You were talking about, I think, the inside the park home run we were talking earlier. Why don't you expand on that and then give us your take?
Yeah, I was just looking when I saw this question. I was like, okay, what's something that surprised me? And I had forgotten, what Bumpy Johnson, Bo's player was, and I guess he's an Aussie, but that caught me by surprise. The speed that archetype had. I thought just one mistake by an outfielder can really, I could see this happening again, with Bumpy Johnson. So I think the Aussie archetype was pretty good. And looking a little bit further into what Keith sent, that actually, less strikeouts than anybody else is that archetype, Ozzy. And then the other one for me was the McBonza. And it really is not even with the series that we had with the Cardinals. It was really the other series between the Yankees and the Orioles, because, that was just like freaking home run city, like consistently all the time, regardless of what team it was. But especially the Orioles, it was just home runs all the time. So for me, it's the McBonza and the Ozzy archetypes I think week 1, and the Ozzy was kind of like the week 1 that kind of like opened up my eyes a little bit.
I'm going to go to Ray next, but Ray, here's so a little footnote. And I guess if the guy in right field had been an Aussie, maybe Bumpy or Johnson would not have had the inside the park home run, right?
Was that right field? I thought that was left field.
It was left field.
I'm pretty sure he hit it. All right, whatever. You guys.
It was left. It was Frank the franchise.
Oh, it's a Frank, and Frank is a McBonza, so his defense is a little low, so that kind of makes sense. And his speed is low, so that also makes sense. On top of that, though, Keith, real quick before I go to Ray, what is just one word answer? What is your archetype for your player?
My player is an Aussie.
Okay, so Aussie, on your point, Greg, you hit a home run this week, right?
Yeah, I hit a leadoff homer.
You hit it right
game 3
in one of the games. Ray, as you've seen things this week, what's your take on the archetypes? What do you think was most successful? Do you agree with the crowd in here? It looks like a lot of people are picking McBonza because home runs, right? Chicks dig they dig the long ball, but is it enough? Right? They dig the long ball, but is it enough that only to hit home runs and maybe not hit for average and doubles and singles and field and all that other shit?
I don't know. Hold on. Let me ask. Hey, Clams, do you dig the long ball?
Or the other one to the left of it, the short one. Hey-o.
Yeah, do you dig the long ball or the other one? She's just staring at me, smiling. If I had to put a guess out there, I just want to be different than everybody else. Because originally I was going to say McBonza, but then everybody in chat started going off because McBonza has a huge power hit,
Right.
going off already just on base stats alone. Imagine them getting their progressions up and shit. And we talked about Ozzy, or our Special K over there being Ozzy, and he only hit one home run. I think his only hit of the entire fucking series was the home run.
Wait, was that your only key?
No.
Or was that your only hit, Keith?
Hey now, I had a bunt.
Wait, he went two extremes: a bunt and a home run, nothing in between.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm not guessing Ozzy for this stuff, but I'm just going to be a little different. I'm going to say Average Joe.
Okay, well, we already know Keith has the answer, so I'm going to pop up the spreadsheet for everybody to see that's following along. By the way, damn, all of a sudden we got 30 people in this bitch.
You want my opinion?
Who just? Oh, Yogi, are you here?
Yeah, Yogi's here.
I didn't know Yogi was here. Yogi, give us your opinion.
Yeah, I'm driving, but I think it was a combination of the McBonza and the short porches. The fields were a little shorter because there was a lot of home runs I saw that should have been, deep flyouts that just carried out. 361, 355.
It's a good point.
I will say I think those old stadiums kind of made a difference. I wonder if the 3-game series between the Yankees and the Orioles stayed in Baltimore, does Baltimore sweep the Yankees?
Yeah, it makes you wonder.
It does make you wonder. Keith, so now that you have everybody's input, take us through this spreadsheet that I just put up on the screen for everybody to see and tell us who was the most successful archetype in Week 1.
Sure. So basically, I created a separate spreadsheet myself because Dave asked me to look into which archetypes were doing the best in Week 1, and I basically just calculated the league average for the main 4 hitting stats, so average slugging, OBP, OPS, and then the average counting stats for RBIs, walks, strikeouts, extra base hits, homers. And then I calculated the average for all of the archetypes, and then I did catchers as well since they're separate. They're not really based on any one of them, and ranked them 1 to 6. And this is what we got. And based on this, I think the best archetype was Average Joe in Week 1. For sure, just based on preseason expectations. Because with the McBonza, you know exactly what you're going to get. You know you're going to get a power hitter, and power hitters hit a lot of home runs. They stack RBIs, and they're probably going to win player of the game a lot, and sure enough, that's what we saw. But based on what I'm seeing, the Average Joes are almost right up there with the McBonzas. They just don't necessarily stack as many RBIs because they don't hit homers as much. But in average, they're right up there at number 1. In OBP, they're way ahead of the Gwins for number 1 because they were really good at drawing walks this week. So I just think, in general, as far as providing value offensively, I think relative to what I would expect, the Average Joes were the best.
All right, Yogi, I'm gonna go backwards on this one. Yogi, let me ask you, hearing that now, and you see Average Joe McBonza just sweeping the top, except for the strikeouts, which the Aussie had the least amount of strikeouts, the Aussie archetype. Does that surprise you at all? The Average Joe, literally just 60s across the board. Nothing in the 70s, nothing in the 80s like some of the other ones, Yogi. Just 60s across the board, yet they're hitting for average. They're getting on base. They're second in RBIs, second in OPS, and second in home runs. That kind of blows my mind a little bit.
Yeah, but if you think about baseball, that's the core nucleus of your team usually in real life. So it's pretty cool that it actually happens with us.
Yeah, Ray, what do you think now that you see? I see some Rickies up there too, kind of, but a lot of the Rickies and where are the Gwins? I hardly even. Oh, the Gwins are all kind of in the middle, I guess. So now that you see the graph, what's your take now, Ray, with the Average Joes, the McBonzas, and that middle thing? You see, there's some catchers in there, but the catchers didn't seem like they did that well.
All I see is me and Dave really need to step up for fucking Team Ricky so far.
Dude, what the fuck, right?
Because we are not doing jack shit. I mean, you started off like what, 0-7?
I was 0 for 5 the first game, but I batted 500 the second game. Remember, I was talking shit about that. But then the third game, I was like 1 for 4 or whatever. So I don't even know what I'm batting. Probably like 200 or something.
Okay,
But-
so maybe most of these stats are probably me. Then.
Yeah. Well, you look at the bottom, like he said, he ranked everything 1 through 6. And I was looking along the bottom, I see Ricky. I see 5 of them Ricky. So maybe we didn't pick the best one after all.
I mean, I kind of expected that when I chose Ricky, honestly. I didn't want to be like that known person to just sit there and hit home runs or do anything. I wanted to be the one that was on base and be able to steal the bases and have the speed to be able to do that. That's why I chose Ricky.
Yeah, Biff is saying in the chat that the 60
you're not
power
even
is
doing
making a
that.
difference. Say that again, Yogi?
That was Greg.
Oh, was it Greg?
Yeah,
Sorry.
that was Yogi. No.
Oh, sorry. No, sorry. I was talking at the same time, so I just threw a guess out there. I had a 1 in 4 chance, man. It's kind of like my hitting right now. 1 in 4 chance.
No, I said.
It was
But
so.
the thing hopefully, well, you know what? With progression, though, I mean,
Yeah.
it'll be nice to see this change because definitely, like you guys with Ricky, the Ricky archetype. I mean, you definitely got something to build on, and depending on where you spend your money or your points at, this could definitely change, for sure.
Yeah, and speaking of the earnings, the progression, this was everybody's one chance to really put a decent amount of points where they wanted it the most because now, starting in week 2, you're only going to get that 6, 7, 8 points a week. You're not getting that 20 to 20. I think one person had 27 fucking points this week to put on their player, and you're just not going to see that. Keith, take us home on this. Give us an overview of what you think this is going to look like, as we progress, as people put more points on. Do you think it's going to balance out, or do you think average Joes and McBonzes are going to kind of run away with the stats this first season?
I mean, of course, it depends where people put their points, because if some McBonzes just keep hammering away at the batting stats, then some of them could separate themselves from the rest of the McBonzes, while others could focus on speed and stealing and things like that. I mean, as of right now, just with the base stats, I think the way that things have played out, I think kind of the roles that you would expect these kinds of players to play within their team, I think generally that's kind of what we saw in week 1. Do I think that that's going to be radically different at the end of the season? I don't know about radically different, but I think that you're not going to see Rickies all the way down at the bottom like they are, like the
Fuck, I
the
hope not.
difference- Yeah, I was gonna say like the difference between the Rickies and then everyone else in OPS, for example, because they're all the way down there at .453, and the catchers are next up at .579. So I think that's gonna shrink. But as far as if it's gonna completely balance out, probably not. But we'll see how close it gets.
We'll see how it goes. All right, so topic number 1, which base archetypes did the best in week 1? I think the stats speak for themselves. McBonza and Average Joe, probably Average Joe with a little bit of an edge, which takes us over to topic number 2. But let me pop up the schedule here just for a moment so we can remind everybody who plays who. Week 2, Cards at Yanks, O's at Cubs, okay? Cards at Yanks, O's at Cubs. So that segues perfectly into our second topic of the day, and it's about St. Louis. Soto, I'm going to start with you. Can the Cards keep winning? Can they keep winning the way they have been? Can they sweep another team, which this week would be the Yankees? Or does them traveling now, not at home, does that traveling to New York give New York an edge over St. Louis? And are we going to see things balance out with all the home field switching exact opposite of what it was in week 1?
Well, look, St. Louis escaped day 2 of last week. If it wouldn't have been for that motherfucker Hodge,
That motherfucker.
that got shanked out in the parking lot, they would not be undefeated. So, are they going to continue? I don't think so. Look, I think the odds are that they're probably going to maybe lose one game at least this week against the Yankees. They definitely won the series. In my eyes, even though they went 3-0, in my eyes, it was a 2-1 win for them in the series last week. They just we just got bad relief pitching last week, so
Yeah.
that gave him that. Which even talking about it still
That
stings.
guy.
So, but no, can they keep winning? Yeah, they're going to keep winning. They're a good team. Gunny and Freddie and Rocco McLovin, all those guys over there are really good. They got a good team. Gunny is an amazing pitcher. Good luck with the Yankees lineup
Yeah, he had
to
that
try to hit that
knuckleball.
knuckleball at 67 miles an hour.
it's terrible.
67, 69 miles an hour is
Yeah.
ridiculous. It kind of looks like it's not even going to go into the strike zone. All of a sudden, it just drops right in there. But yeah, I think they possibly can go. They can still win the series, I think, against the Yankees. But I think they'll lose at least one.
So, speaking of, I just want to tell everybody real quick, speaking of bullpens, hopefully that will be rectified by week 2. I'm trying to get the owners to get their bullpens all about the same, to about 75, and the closers at 80. Closers are at 80 already. They were that going into week 1, but I want to get all the relief pitchers about the same, so nobody has an advantage there. Also, Jeff Banfield, thank you for the bits, and it looks like we've got a hype train coming because Clams subscribed again, re-upped her sub, so we're looking good there. Ray, your thoughts on the Cards? Can the Cards keep winning? Did home field make a difference? Is it a matter of archetypes maybe? Did they have too many? They had a couple average Joes and a few McBonzes. Was that the difference? What's your take on the Cards, and do you think they're still the best team in the league after week 1?
Honestly, with the Cards, I think they just built a pretty well-rounded lineup order for their batters. I mean, it starts off slow. Sorry, Keith. It starts off slow with like hit or misses, and then you get immediately you got like Rocco going in there. You got Frank the franchise going in there, just popping them all day out into the outfield, into the stands possibly. I mean, Rocco hitting off, what was it, like 3 or 4 home runners during the entire series?
Yeah.
It's hard to sit here and look at everybody else and be like, who's better than the Cardinals right now? It has to be the St. Louis Cardinals being the top spot of the mob right now.
Yogi, what's your take on this? Cards, obviously they are the top spot, right? They're 3-0. They have a 1-game lead on the O's, a 2-game lead on the Yanks, a 3-game lead on the Cubs, but it's only 1 week. Did archetypes and home field advantage, and did those come into play? And what is your take? We teased it on the first go-round about the neutral field. Seemed to help the Yankees, but it didn't seem to help the Cubs. So what's your take on that as well?
I think the pink elephant in the room is Gunny's the biggest weapon in the league right now. That knuckleball is just unbelievable. I think the Cardinals have a good order. Like Ray said, they got good sticks in the right spots, and they had a lot of clutch hitting in that series. So, in my opinion, as long as they've got Gunny, they're in every series. He's a beast to go against.
Yeah, that's true, especially this season when each team only having one starting pitcher. As we get more people, maybe if we get more pitchers, that might change. But Keith, it's your team, so I saved you for last. You're literally one swing away from losing the 1 game, right? Chad, bails you guys out in the bottom of the 8th with a 3-run homer to take a 1-run lead.
Right.
So you're really close to really only being 2-1. Is a 3-0 dominance a little misleading? And also, what's your take on the minor league field thing?
So I think
I'm sorry, not minor league, but you know what I mean, old stadiums.
Right, yeah. So I'll start with the old stadiums first. Yeah, the size of them definitely played a factor in Game 3. I think someone mentioned it earlier that there was a lot of homers that were about 360, and that's probably not getting out of a lot of the other ballparks we're playing in. I want to say Camden Yards in particular. I don't think the outfield stretches that short. It's probably longer than that. But meanwhile, at Sportsman's Park, the right field pole is 310. So there you go. I think it's fun to have those stadiums in there. Just I mean, because they're in the game, and I like seeing them in there. So I think it's fun to keep those in there. And plus, if it balances things out score wise, I'm I'm not against that necessarily.
Hey, before you answer your second question, I just want to say Twin Screw in the chat. Interesting point. Rankings will be more solid after week 3 after all teams have played each other. I agree with that. Although technically it's not a home and home, but I agree with Twin Screw. After 3 weeks, we'll have a little bit better picture. But go ahead and answer the other part.
Yeah, real quick, Keith, Gil, what you
ahead.
said, just to back what you're saying up, is usually you would see even a pitcher complain about, hey, the field's too small. But you know what? It's up to us, the pitchers, to just get better and just pitch better. And regardless of what field we're at, to get you guys to hit ground balls, strike you out, pop up, so to me, even as a pitcher, I don't care what field you guys put me. I don't even care if you put me in a little league field if it was in the fucking game. My job as a pitcher is to make sure you don't hit. So that just all the pitchers, we just got to get better. I mean, Gunny's already good, but I'm sure he's going to get better. We just have to get better with our stats, with our attributes. So regardless of what park we play in.
Yep, agreed. All right, Keith, you got the last word.
Yeah, so I guess, Dave, you had asked if the 3-0 domination was a little misleading. I actually do think that is the case. I think it is a little misleading. I think the Cards defense definitely came to play. They were the only team without an error this week, actually, on defense.
Good point.
I thought that was interesting. But offensively, so here's a fun stat I pulled. So out of the 36 qualified hitters we have in this league, 13 of them hit below the Mendoza line in week 1.
Oh.
5 of those were on the Cardinals. Yes, 5.
Wow.
Yeah, and the Cards had the fewest hits among all the teams so far and scored fewer runs last week than the 1-2 Yankees. So the question then becomes, is the Cards defense that good with Gunny, which, I mean, clearly the knuckleball is working its magic.
Yeah, it is.
But I guess then that begs the question, if someone can take advantage of the fact that, like sometimes the knuckleball falls in the right place. If that happens a lot and the Cards get in a hole, do they have the offensive firepower to be able to overcome that? That's the question I'm looking for this week.
All right.
Damn, that makes me feel really good then.
Right? I mean,
did you just say the Cards had the fewest runs this past week?
Fewest hits.
Okay,
hit,
you said fewest runs in the middle of that. I was like, that's kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So hold on. I can just run through that real quick. Yeah. So they had the fewest hits among all the teams. We had 19. We were the only team below 20, and we had fewer runs scored than the Yankees, who of course went 1-2.
Hey, real quick too, Keith, for those in the chat who may not know or understand what the Mendoza line is, explain that in like 10 seconds.
Mendoza line means batting 200. I forget the name of the guy that it's named after, but it's
I'm going to go with Mendoza, but I don't know his first name.
I don't know the guy's first name.
Who is Mendoza?
Don't ask me. It's someone named Mendoza.
So, all right. So we talked about the
Mario Mendoza.
Talked about the archetypes. Talked about the Cardinals. Let's move on to our next topic. Can the O's keep up their scoring prowess? And this is interesting to me. And we're going a little different order this time. I might start with Yogi on this one. The Orioles, or actually, Keith, let me ask you this: Orioles scored the most runs, and how big was their gap?
They scored 23. The second most was 12.
Wow.
Damn, it's almost double.
Well, now guaranteed, yeah, but like almost half of those were in one game, right? So wasted runs.
11 of them.
Yeah, 11 exactly. So, Yogi, can the O's keep up their scoring prowess? Are they going to be that dominant of an offensive team, or is it literally just the fact that they scored half their runs in one game on a bad night by Lisa? And I mean, they did go 2-1. And then they were in a slugfest. They only lost the slugfest, I think, 6-4, if I'm not mistaken, in the neutral field. So maybe, again, I'm playing devil's advocate, but what if that game is played in Camden Yards? Do the Orioles sweep the Yankees, and do they score even more runs?
Probably, because look what they did when they played in Camden Yards. They scored 17 runs in 2 games.
Yeah.
So, the majority of their runs were scored at the bigger ballpark. So they got a hitting squad.
Yeah, So, what do you think they're gonna? You think they're gonna keep this up though, as people are progressing, as pitchers are progressing every other week? as hitters are progressing on other teams. Do you think they're going to be able to keep it up, though?
Yeah, but we haven't mentioned the pitchers progressing. That's going to be a huge. We're all progressing, all the hitters and fielders, but the pitchers are progressing too.
Yeah, all the
And
pitchers
if they
they
do
got
the
their
right
20
things-
points. They got their 20 points this week, but
Yeah.
then they don't progress again until after week 3.
Right. It's going to make a difference. If you put those 20 points in the right spot, they're going to make a difference. But I think the Orioles are just built to score runs from what I saw in 3 games watching them.
Yeah. Ray, what do you think? I'm pretty sure we had the most home runs too of any team in addition to most runs. Are the Orioles? Is the batting order that talented? Is it just a week 1 thing? Was it a Camden Yards thing? What do you think?
I would love to say it was a week 1 thing just because y'all were facing the Yankees, honestly. It's the fucking Yankees. Sorry, Lisa. You're the fucking Yankees. Disgusting.
Poor Lisa.
Filth of a baseball team.
With 27 world championships.
Nobody cares. Anyway, that doesn't matter here.
Hold on. How
We
many?
have a championship here.
How many in the members only baseball?
0.
Yeah, exactly. So technically, we're all aligned with the Yankees right
There
now.
you go. There you go.
Fuck you, crazy. First and foremost. What was the question again, Dave? Sorry.
Are the Orioles? Are they just going to keep scoring runs? And are other teams just going to have to try to outscore them, or are they just going to outscore everybody? Basically, is what it comes down to.
Basically, what I saw throughout the 3 games that they had against the Yankees. Every single time Baltimore started off hot, they kept that hotness all the way to the end of the game. The only time I didn't see that happen was game 3, and that's when the Yankees started taking over way earlier. And that kind of discouraged that Orioles lineup a little bit to where they're like, oh shit, we have to play catch up. We've never really had to play catch up before in the first 2 games. But it could also have been a mindset of Orioles sitting here saying, all right, we already have the series win, so why the fuck should we try to play game 3 or whatever?
Yeah, maybe.
Orioles have that hitting power, as we've seen multiple times, especially during game 1. Fucking everybody out in the fucking left field, center field, right field. I think a fucking somehow it landed in somebody's water.
It did. Yeah, there was
getting fucking baseballs from the Baltimore Orioles. In the whole aspect of having a neutral field, I don't think that discouraged the Orioles so much. I don't think it hurt them as much. I just think it's the Yankees got off to that hot start, and the Orioles were sitting there struggling to play catch up.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think that field definitely helped the Yankees more than it hurt the Orioles. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Soto, I think the Yankees jumped out to a 6-1 lead, and or was it 5-1 or 4-1, and then some Orioles came back and came within a run or something like that, and then literally I think it was the next inning, Yankees scored 2 more and put it away or something like that. So. Same question to you, Soto. Are the O's that talented offensively? Are they just going to score runs? And is it going to be on the other team to just outscore them? Or is there something that can be done to keep those runs down when you play Baltimore?
Yeah, my pitching.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be this week, right? That's this week.
Yeah, it's this week. I'm looking forward to it. Honestly, I put Cardinals behind, and I'm just concentrating on the Orioles. And when I was putting my points on my player, all I was thinking about was their hitting, and we'll see. Hopefully with better pitching, and us being at home. And in a neutral field or wherever else, you're going to pick this week. I don't know how you do that.
The home team will pick. So Rob and Korn will pick the home field for game 3.
Okay, so it'll be in our house regardless of what our owners pick and my pitching hopefully. And we've shown if I get a little bit of help, in run support. My guy, improved it week 1, even before I was able to put all these attributes on there. 97 pitches, 8 innings, 6, up to 6 strikeouts, with a 3-1 lead. So, if I could do that with the Cardinals, and I get a little bit of run support, and now I'm a little bit better pitcher, so I don't see why not. So I'm looking forward to it. I don't think so. I think we'll be able to get some wins this week against the Orioles.
All right, Stat Man, you got the last word on this. Based on the stats, do the Cubs have a chance against the Orioles, or the Orioles just gonna, put up numbers like they did against the Yankees?
Real quick, are we saying the Cubs are facing the Orioles this week? Because you got it in the pick'ems that the Cubs are facing the Yankees.
Yeah.
Oh, are we facing the Yankees?
Wait,
I
hold
thought we
on.
were facing the
Well,
Orioles.
hold on.
My bad.
I put the schedule up for. Hold on a second.
Yeah, because
I thought
Cubs were 3-4 back to back. The Yankees and Cubs.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Oh, maybe I
thought Cards were playing Yankees this week.
I'm looking ahead.
Wait. What? Hold on a second. Let's see real quick. What am I looking for? Oh, not that. This.
Yeah, I'm looking at it wrong. Sorry, I apologize.
So what?
They both start with C, so I was just like, oh, okay.
Wait. So what is it, Ray?
It's Cards at Yankees, and it's Orioles at Cubs.
Cards.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Oh yeah. So we were right. Wait.
Yeah.
So do I have it
My
wrong?
bad.
Do I have it wrong in the pick'ems?
No.
No,
Well,
the pick'ems are right. I just misread it.
Ray fucked up
Way to go, Ray.
again.
so Ray
show without Ray fucking
Yeah.
up something.
Ray just deflated everything I said there to pump that series
You're
up.
welcome.
Hey, and now the show's gonna go over time because Ray fucked it all up.
Now
we- Ray.
Every single time they call on you, all you got to say is "fear the stash." That's it.
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
Keith, what's your answer?
Okay, I got 2 points that I think if the Orioles can keep it up, then yes, they'll keep up their scoring pace. Number one is just Benji Matson in general. That dude was a fucking monster last week. He was just by far the best hitter in just about every category. Dude hit 4 homers. His OPS was 2.0 flat. That is absolutely insane. I can't remember what number 2 was, but it was a lot less than that. Dude hit like 538 or something last week. Just absolutely insane. And keep in mind, he was the 3 spot in their lineup. So, of course, that is very favorable spot if you're going to be a power hitter. And so he got put in that spot, and he took advantage of it. Whether or not that's an outlier, my guess is I'm assuming it is because I don't know if anyone's going to be able to match a week like that. Assuming that's an outlier, then we'll have to see how the other batters do. But one thing that it looked like the Orioles did really well last week was capitalizing on runners in scoring position and guys getting on base to set up their power hitters. Reason I say that, so you remember how I said the Orioles had 23 runs and the Yankees had 12?
Right.
So the difference in hits is a lot closer. So the Orioles had 30 hits last week. The Yankees had 28.
Oh, so they just didn't capitalize.
Right, exactly. So the Yankees, if I recall, they had a lot of like solo homers because I didn't believe this when I counted up. The Yankees and the Orioles both hit 8 home runs in those 3 games last week.
No shit.
You would have thought the Orioles would have hit like double.
Yeah.
But no, it was the same number. So yeah, it just seemed like the Orioles, they really just capitalized whenever they had guys in scoring position and whenever guys were on base. Whether or not they can keep that up, that's a good question because it's a different pitcher this week. Who of course Soto did pretty solid against us Cards last week. It's a shame that his relievers his bullpen had to blow it for him, but that's going to be something to watch this week is whether or not the Orioles power hitters can keep taking advantage.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that third game, the Yankees hit 3 solo home runs, so that kind of speaks to your point.
That sounds right.
Yeah, hitting a lot of home runs, but they're all solos. I'm almost positive that's what it was. So, I think Joe hit 2 of them, and then I don't remember who hit the other one, but it'll come to me. Anyway, all right. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens this week. It is Orioles at Cubs and Cardinals at Yankees. So we'll see how that goes. Moving on to our 4th topic. When will the Cubs win a game, and what will it take for them to win a game? Soto, I'm going to go to you first since this is your team. You guys were close last week. Your pitching was great. Like we mentioned, your bullpen let you down. You're going to have the same bullpen this week until week 3. Is that going to be a factor again? And what is it going to take to get you guys over the hump at home against the O's? the O's.
Yeah, well, the biggest thing is that our batters don't have to face the knuckleball as the very first pitch. So that's a big thing. They've all, as you mentioned, I mean, we were the first ones to finish progression because we know how much we need it and how much better we need to get. I think what is it going to take? I think it's going to take better pitching from me. Even better than last week, and hopefully it will be. And just to get a little bit of run support. Again, I know we're going to have the relief pitching that we had last week, and hopefully everybody's going to be at 75. To kind of help that. I just need a little bit of run support. That's all I need. And hopefully those three things: me pitching better, a little bit of run support, and not having to face the knuckleball as the very first pitch for our hitters until they get better attributes,
right.
Plate discipline, and being able to hit better. I think the next time around when we face Gunny, it'll be a different story. I think right off the bat, with the levels of our attributes of our hitters where we're at, it was just easy pickings for Gunny because that knuckleball's nasty.
Yeah, it is.
I think those are a couple of things that it's going to take, and like Ray said, just fear the stash. It's coming.
There you go. Yogi. The O's, you saw the O's up close. They have to travel to Chicago. Soto pitched well, like everybody saw. He did have a good point. Although I will say this. I will say Chris Lee also pitched very well last week.
Yeah, he did.
Obviously, he doesn't have a knuckleball, but he's got a screwball. And he's actually, I think him and Soto, it may be the most evenly matched pitching matchup we have in the league at this point, at this time. What's it going to take the Cubs, or what's it going to take for the Cubs to win at least one game, or maybe at least two, to even win the series against the Orioles?
I think Greg hit the head on the nail when he said they're not facing that knuckleball. We're gonna find out what a difference that makes this week. We got to face them, and they don't. So if they can truly hit without facing that knuckleball, and it seemed like they did in some of the later innings, we may find out something about the Cubs this week. I think that was the key to that matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll know after this week, right, Ray? If Gunny has the same success against the Yankees that he had against the Cubs, is it really the knuckleball? And I might as well just ask you the same question: what's it going to take for the Cubs to beat the Orioles this week?
Just basically how the Cubs beat the Orioles this week and win a series for the first time. Brush off last week. That was a warm-up week. Don't look back at it. Don't look at the scores. Don't see how high up you were in game 2 before you dropped a 2-run home run to lose the lead. Just put that in the past. Focus on what's ahead of you, and that is the Baltimore Orioles. But you get a homestand. You finally get a homestand. You get to have a calm, nice environment for you to just sit there and breathe, relax, and go out there and do what you know you can do. It's like Soto said. Soto is one of the best pitchers here in the mob right now. And I'm not saying that just to suck his dick because he's my teammate.
Well, no, but listen, here's the thing. I think, and Keith probably has the stats, so he'll know for sure, but I think just with the eye test, we can all say that Gunny was the best pitcher of week 1. I would say Soto and Chris Lee are on that next tier, and Lisa was the one that struggled the most, although she had pitched a much better game in game 3. Game 1 was just, maybe that was just an anomaly. I don't know, 11. I mean, who the fuck's going to score 11 runs all the time?
Here's the thing with Gunny, though. That, he pitched a hell of a fucking series. I give him props for that one. But game 2 wasn't his strongest game at all. He thought he could still throw those knuckleballs, and we were hitting them left and right, no matter what he was throwing. So we figured him out a little bit. We just got discouraged at the end there, thanks to our relief pitching.
and
I
Rocco,
still want to punch that guy in the fucking dick.
And Rocco McLovin taking you a yard in the bottom of the 8th, that hurt.
Again, relief pitching.
Yeah, that hurt for sure.
We don't talk about that.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to think of what I was going to say, and I just lost it.
Well, if you think of it, you can interrupt Keith. All right, Keith, what do the stats say? What do the Cubs need to put at least one W, if not 2, at home against the Orioles and that offensive, that really powerful lineup the Orioles have. What do the Cubs need to do next week?
Yeah, my opinion, just going through the stat sheet, it looks to me like the part of the lineup that struggled the most, relative to what you would expect, is the meat of the lineup, kind of that 3-4-5 section, which is interesting because their 3-hitter, Jeff Banfield, was by far the best hitter on the team this week. So you got to focus on the 4 and 5 hitter. I don't want to call anyone out, but that's Blitzkrieg and Korn.
I don't want to call anybody out, but I'm going to name everyone by name. Banfield, thanks for the bits.
Right. So we went over how the McBonzes and Average Joes were probably the 2 best hitting archetypes. Krieg and Korn are their only 2 McBonzes on the team, and they have no Average Joes. And both Krieg and Korn are below 200 for the week. As a matter of fact, they went a combined 3 of 24 this week.
Wow.
And they had 1 extra base hit in between that, and I believe it was a solo shot by Krieg.
What is Banfield's archetype? Do we know? Banfield, what's your archetype, bro?
I could probably get it here real quick.
Let's see who can answer first. Gwen.
Gwen.
He says Gwen.
Gwen.
Yeah, I was going to say Gwen. Yeah.
Banfield, you won the race, bro. You know what you win?
And look,
Absolutely
if you're not going to
nothing.
have if you're not going to have an Average Joe, I would say Gwen would be the next one, because even when you looked at all the
hitting,
the spreadsheet, they were in the middle in like tier 3. In tier 3, that's where the Gwens fell. So, I mean, if you don't have an Average Joe, then you need to lean on the Gwens to help you out.
I agree with that. But how do you explain, Keith? I mean, the McBonzes not doing their job, and they're the second best archetype in week 1.
That's how it goes sometimes. That's an archetype that's going to swing the bat a lot, and that's what they should do, because if they make contact, it's going to leave the yard a lot of the times. But
which is why they have shitty vision and discipline and contact numbers to begin with. Exactly.
Right, exactly. And of course, the flip side to that is they strike out a lot and they swing and miss a lot. Not that those 2 did that more than other McBonzes, but just relative to the role that they're meant to provide in that part of the lineup, they just, it wasn't their week this week.
Yeah.
And whether that's because of Gunny's pitching or if it was just a bad week for them, we'll see.
Bullet, glad to see you. Hope you're enjoying dinner with the wife. I DM'd with Bullet earlier today. He said he was going to be missing out, but he would check in when he could. He was taking the wife to a late dinner. And he just happens to jump in when we're talking about his archetype, Average Joe. And I will tell you this, you guys, I was actually surprised. I think Worm was the first one to pick the Average Joe archetype. And I was like, are you sure? And he said, yeah. And I think Bullet was the second one. I don't remember who the third one was. And I think there's 4 of them maybe.
Yeah, there's 4.
Yeah. And I was shocked that many people, I thought that would have been the least popular. Maybe it is still. Maybe 4 is the least amount of archetypes chosen. But I was really surprised that even that many people picked Average Joe, to be honest with you, because it caps all at either 80s or 85s. You can't even get that high on the high end. Ray, you just said no. What was lower?
I think Ricky, me and you.
Yeah.
Are we the only 2 Rickies in the league?
I think we're the only 2 Rickies.
No, Ray is the other.
Oh,
I thought Ray has Ozzy, I think.
I have her down as
she has Ricky.
Oh, she has. Oh, okay.
I have her down as
Okay,
Ricky.
well, still, Ricky's is still lower with 3.
Oh, Twin Screw just said, I stayed with Average Joe because the preseason my player hit pretty solid, not so much week 1. Yeah. And, the other thing is going to be is how does that affect as people are progressing? Because in the beta season, everybody was all over the place. So that's going to be interesting. Right. Last topic before we get to the weekly awards, and that is what's wrong with Lisa Pinky right now? Yogi, I'll start with you since this is your starting pitcher. You drafted her. The first pitcher in the draft because the other 2 were taken already. And she's a southpaw, and she pitched well in the beta season. What happened in Baltimore, and what do you need to do to correct things before you host St. Louis this week?
Well, she got a little progression this week.
And she just ran into a super on fire Baltimore team. They were pounding the ball. Benji Matson was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Absolutely unbelievable. So I'm not sweating her. I think she'll do a little better this week. We'll find out. And with the progression she's done, we'll see if that helps her. But I thought she pitched decent, other than just running into that buzzsaw.
Yeah. I'll go to Soto next. Soto, pitcher to pitcher. I'm sure you watched all the other pitchers this week as well. And I think I was right when I said that I think Gunny was the cream of the crop. I think you and Chris Lee are on the next tier. Lisa struggled the most. Even if you take that 11-1 game out, she still goes 1-1, giving up a lot of home runs, giving up 4 runs in the third game. I don't remember what the second game score was. What was your take on watching her pitch against Baltimore? Do you agree with Yogi, or did you see something different being a pitcher yourself?
I don't know. I agree with Yogi. I haven't really looked into Lisa's build, like what her pitches are, like what the 3 pitches are that she picked for her pitcher. I mean, it'd be nice to know a little bit of that information. I mean, I'll take a look at it a little bit later. But I mean, I agree with Yogi. I mean, look, and this is something that happens in simulation sports, regardless of what you play. Week 1 is always the hardest fucking week to get ready for, because you really don't know how these players are going to act. You don't know what the lineup's going to be, if the lineup's even going to work, if your pitches that you picked are even going to work. But once you pick it, now you got to progress it. So I agree with Yogi. Look, they just the Orioles just had a better team week 1, period. Now that there's progression, Lisa has the ability to build on what she has as a base and then become better. So I believe that there is nothing really wrong with Lisa. The Orioles had a perfect lineup. Their coaches, their managers had the right people at the right place in the batting order, and Lisa's build, as we all start with 75 at that moment, just didn't have enough for that team. Now, it'd be interesting. I always say the second time around. That's why I said I think it's going to be a different story even with our batters when we play the Cardinals again the second time. I think if it ever gets to the point, which I think you do, when the Yankees play the Orioles again, that's really going to be telling, because then Lisa will have the opportunity to progress, and then we'll see how those hitters do now that they see her a second time.
Yeah, and that's going to be week 6, so all pitcher progressions will be in, because you guys progress this week, you'll progress after week 3, and you'll progress after week 5. So all pitchers will be at full progression. That'll be interesting to see for sure if she can hold her own there. Yep, I agree with that.
I think she will. Look, it's just hard. The Orioles just have a good team, and right off the gate they have a good team, and it's just, it's hard to be a pitcher at like a 74, 75 overall and go against, a battering ram.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Or like Yogi said, a buzzsaw, week 1. So it's just going to be hard, but we'll see. She'll get better.
All right, Ray, your take on Lisa. We've seen her be a very successful quarterback in college. She decided not to go pro in football and decided to take that arm and instead go play baseball with it. Was that the right move for her? And what's your take on her against the Orioles last week?
My take on Lisa. I met her in person. Fantastic lady. Dave is a lucky man.
I have never heard that before.
No.
Congratulations, Dave.
He outkicked his coverage for sure.
Yeah. Lisa as a pitcher, though. Game 1. I mean, everybody has game 1 jitters. That's what I'm chopping it down to, is game 1 jitters for Lisa. It's a new sport. She's learning it. I'm going to give her that pass. Game 2, she was pitching really fucking great in game 2 until somebody in the chat decided to curse Lisa and say she was pitching pretty well.
I forgot about that. There was 2 people that said, "Wow, she's pitching really well," and then
a no-hitter going.
Yeah, she had a no-hitter through like 4 innings, and then all the fucking shit hit the fan because people started complimenting her.
It was Gunn. Gunn kept saying
Gunn. Was it? Oh, Tommy Gunn?
Not Gunny.
Or Gunny?
It was Gunn.
Well, I know
No,
there were
Gunn,
two.
Tommy Gunn.
Oh, Tommy Gunn. I know there were two people. I don't know who the other person was, but Ray, that's a good point. I hadn't even thought about that. I'm glad you brought that up. Go ahead.
And in game 3, she played again another amazing game. I don't know if anybody cursed her into chat or whatever. I wasn't really paying attention to chat. But game 3, she had a hell of a game. It seems like she improved with each and every single game against the Orioles. That she started figuring out her arm. She started figuring out her pitches. She started figuring out where to place those pitches. She's getting smarter each and every single game. Lisa in the chat says thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, Dix.
She's understanding how to play this role, and she's starting to get dangerous, almost as dangerous as she was in Auburn.
Uh-oh.
So for anybody that's got to go against Lisa, and she's learning this sport and with progressions, you better look out. She's coming for the top spot of being the top pitcher in mob.
Oh, here we go. Benji said I almost went Ricky. Or no, Biff said that. Biff. Yeah, I actually almost went Ozzy. Now I'm kind of second guessing my thing. Wink is here. Wink, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. He says she never didn't know how to pitch versus Winkler. Is that a double negative? I'm not even sure how to read that exactly.
I mean,
Winkler even know how to pitch against Winkler?
Hey, let me say this before we get to Keith, because he's the stats guy, so I'm going to give him some stats. I want you guys to hear. Lisa was the only pitcher last week to have a decision in all 3 games. So she went 1-2, right? We know that Gunny went 2-0. Chris went 1-1. Lisa went 1-2. But like you said, pitching really well in that second game, she could have easily gone 2-1. And then Soto, I think, went 0-2, obviously. But Keith, you've heard what everybody said. You saw how she pitched. What's your take on it? And do you have any stats you want to throw out there for Lisa?
Yeah, I think the first thing I'll just touch on is I don't think we really know how much of an effect home field advantage has in this game quite yet. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe the home team went 4-1 last week. I think that's right.
No, there's 6 games, so they would have gone.
So, okay, well, I thought one of them was at a neutral field, but okay,
5-1.
5-1.
Okay.
5-1.
Because the Yankees were the only one to win on the road.
Wait.
Right,
No, wait.
yes.
Hold on. That's not true. There were only 4 home games because 2 were at neutral field.
Oh, true.
Right.
Okay. So 3-1.
So the only one last game was 4-0.
It'd be 4-0 then.
Yeah.
If we count
Yeah,
the
4-0.
game.
The one they won was on a neutral field. Okay.
Yeah.
So
See,
4-0.
this is why Special K is the special stats.
Special K does special stats.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't think we fully know if home field advantage is just insane in this game. We'll probably figure that out. That's one of those time will tell kind of things. Of course, the Orioles could also just be cracked as far as hitting goes. I think that's another thing that time will tell if whether or not week 1 was a fluke or not. Soto asked about Lisa's pitching lineup. From what I have down, she throws a 2-seamer, a changeup, and a sweeper, and they're all kind of average speeds for real life MLB. So it's not slow, but she's not necessarily blowing anyone away. Now, don't ask me if I think that's a good pitching combo or not. I have no clue. But, I mean, she's not Soto with a triple-digit fastball or anything.
Yeah.
So
I would agree that she is built different. Somebody, I think it was Gunny, put in the server how all the pitchers are different. He goes, I've got the knuckleball. Soto's got the heat. Chris Lee has the screwball. But then he said, and Lisa has, and he literally said, I don't know what Lisa has. So is she just a mystery, or is her build just not up to the same as the other 3 pitchers?
Change of pace.
Yeah, it
she
could
had
be,
the Dave ball.
I mean, it could be that. It could be that Lisa is a contact pitcher that just throws a little harder than other contact pitchers have historically, or even like Gunny in this league, because of course we all know with the 67-mile-an-hour knuckler that you can make contact with it. Whether or not it's going to leave the yard, that's another question. So I don't know. I feel like again, I think time will tell for all of these things, but I think if she can get some more swings and misses this week, then I think that'll kind of boost the confidence a little bit of the Yankees.
Yeah, I think so.
Especially going against the Cardinals lineup that didn't hit that great last week. So I mean, it's an interesting matchup to say the least. So it's going to be fun to watch and see how it all unfolds.
Real quick, Gunny in the chat. That's a great comparison to Greg Maddux, the way Lisa pitches. I think that's actually a really good comparison. I'm going to throw a bonus question, and then we're going to get to the award winners. And I just want like 10 seconds from each of you. Do you guys like the idea of the neutral field on an old stadium? And does it seem to balance out the potential? And again, we don't know, like he said, if home field advantage is really a thing. But if it is a thing, do we like the fact that we throw in that third game at a neutral field in an old stadium to help balance that out? I'm just going to go in order from the top down. Soto, you go first.
Yeah, can you repeat that again? In the third game, you always throw out like what did you say, a neutral field?
Yeah, neutral field at an old stadium, and is that if home field is a little stacked in this game, which again we don't know yet for sure, but do we like the fact that helps neutralize that a little bit?
But does it really neutralize? Because usually in game development and game programming, regardless of what field you pick, whoever's the home field, that gets the home field advantage, regardless of what field they're playing in. So,
except the Yankees beat the only time the Yankees beat the Orioles last week was at that neutral field.
Yeah, well, we only have 1 week. I think that usually that's how games do it. Whoever the home field is, that's now the home field. So. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I really don't. I think, the Yankees beat them, and it just happened to be that game. And, just we'll see. There'll be more data, I think, is needed to see about the home field. And
yeah, I agree with that.
I think by like week 3, week 4, we'll kind of know. Like, look at these numbers, and I think. I do think every game has a little bit of a home field advantage, regardless. I think what stadium you pick at, whoever the home team is.
Ray, what do you think? Do you like the third game being a neutral field?
I like the third game being a neutral field. I like the going to these historic fields and kind of keeping them in the loop with the mob and everything.
Right.
I personally don't believe in the home field advantage because I've never seen it at all playing these games. But everybody else can have their opinions. I don't think there's any home field advantage.
Well, we're going to find out. I mean, if you only took the week 1 data, then they're 4-0.
Again, I don't think it's home field advantage. I think it's just how they built the roster.
All right. Keith.
Yes, I am a fan of the neutral fields game 3 solely on the fact that we get to play on these fields that either don't exist anymore or just aren't used anymore, and it's cool to see those. So, yes, I'm a fan.
The historic field. Yogi, you get the last word on this one.
Huge fan of it. I think it suits us, with our history in the AACL and our shenanigans and all that. It suits us. Yeah. And both teams are hitting at the same ballpark. So if the fence is 310 for one team, it's 310 for the other team.
That's actually a great point.
It gives us some more. It gives us some more stats. I think it's good.
I agree with that. All right. Hey Ray, do we have a drum roll on the soundboard? Still,
I can. Yeah, I got it.
Can you find that for me? Let's do that. All right, folks, we're wrapping up here in a few minutes. It looks like we're barely going to go over. We're 2 minutes over now.
Oh.
This will last a few more. We'll probably go maybe no more than 10 more minutes probably or whatever. But we're going to do the 4 awards. We had 35 of the 39 people in the server respond to the ballot, and everybody answered every question. So this is really cool. We have 35 votes on every single category. These are the 4 categories. There is Team of the Week, Player of the Week, Pitcher of the Week, and the Play of the Week for those of you, which is most of you, who went in there and read that. So the first award we're going to give away is going to be Team of the Week. Those are your 4 teams. You can see them on the screen right now. And as soon as I get a drum roll, we'll announce who your Team of the Week 1 is. It is the St. Louis Cardinals by a huge margin. Out of the 35 votes, the Cardinals got 21 of them for 60%. The Orioles came in second, 28.6%. That's 10 votes. The Yankees got 3 at 8.6, and the Cubs got 1. I don't know who cast that vote, but they had to be a homer. Is all I'm saying. That was serious. I think I'm pretty sure I asked everybody to try to do it like it should be and not be a homer. But there's always one, bro. There's always one. 10 seconds. 10 seconds to each of you. Yogi, I'm gonna start with you. Did the mob get it right?
Yeah, I think they did. And I think it was the toughest call. Do you go with the Orioles bats or do you go with St. Louis winning all 3? I chose 3-0.
Yeah. Keith, did the mob get it right?
I think so. If the Orioles won Game 3, I think they would have got Team of the Week. But since they didn't, got to go 3-0 sometimes.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point, Ray.
You know what? I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say the Orioles should have been Team of the Week.
Really?
You don't start off hot against the Yankees and beat them 11-1 just to see a team that won Game 1 1-0 take Game of the Week just solely based on a fucking knuckleball.
Well, I think the other thing too that the Cards, not just because they went 3-0, but they've got one of those big highlights of the week, right? The 3-run bomb by Chad Rowland in the bottom of the 8th to give them one of those victories.
Yep.
Those are things I think that stick in voters' minds. If I'm,
Yep.
Soto, you got the last word on this one. Did the mob get it correct?
No, I'm also with my man Ray here. I picked actually the O's. I think even though they lost one game, I just think the bats of the O's was just pure filth. When they're on, they're on. And even though we lost the 3 games until that last game, I think they were all close games. So for me, it was the O's.
All right. Well, congratulations to the St. Louis Cardinals Team of the Week for Week 1. There will be bonus points for all these, by the way, too. I didn't want to tell you that before Week 1 because I don't want you guys voting. Just try to get yourself. If I sense that there's some bad voting going on, I'll just kill it anyway. But there are going to be some bonus points given on all of these awards. That takes us to the next category, Player of the Week. Drum roll, please. And this is your
Shocker.
non-pitcher, and it wasn't even close.
No.
Benji Matson, 32 of 35 votes. Worm got 1. Rocco got 1, which I could see Rocco getting 1 for sure.
Yeah.
And actually, Worm had great stats too. And Joe Delaney getting 1, he probably voted for himself. But there's your 35. I'll go from the bottom to the top this time, Yogi. Was this a no-brainer?
Yeah, I think it was a no-brainer all the way. Benji was just on fire the whole series.
Keith.
Yeah, it's too easy.
Too easy, Ray.
Where the fuck is Bumpy Johnson?
Dude, actually, he was...
Yeah, Play of the Week.
Bumpy Johnson was on the cusp. I think I put up here honorable mentions to Clams and Gunn because they were next tier. Yeah. And the next tier right after that was Bumpy Johnson for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely honorable mentions to Clams because Game 1, wow, what the hell?
I
don't know what type of steroids she was taking that day.
I don't know. Clams and Gunn, though, just had 2 similar stats to the other people that I put in. I didn't even have Bullet and Luda in to begin with. I had honorable mention to Clams, Gunn, Bullet, and Luda. And then I was like, well, those are just slightly better, so I threw them in there. But, at the end of the day, we didn't even need probably 4, to be honest with you. Soto, was this a no-brainer? And I kind of feel bad that Jeff Banfield didn't get at least 1 vote. I think he had a solid week. But do you think the mob got this one right?
Yeah, for sure. Benji's just on fire, man, and I'm actually looking forward to this matchup this week. I'm just going to be throwing that gas down there to see if I could, stop that fire, that smoke that Benji's like putting out there and at home plate, man. It's just fucking crazy.
It is crazy.
Just look at those stats. That's crazy stats, man.
538, 6 home runs. We had 2 home runs 4 home runs, but he hit 2 in Game 1 and 2 in Game 2, but he didn't even hit 1 in Game 3, and he still has these stats.
And for sure. And for sure, Jeff, my my teammate, just keep it up, man. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you did great week 1. I'm sure Jeff is going to continue going, this week too. So.
Yeah, I agree. He did a great job.
Dave, where's our names?
They're the last award. It's worst
Next year down.
worst
Next
players
year
of
down.
the worst players of the week. We get -1 point. All right.
Mario Mendoza.
Yeah. Oh my God. Should we institute a
Well,
Mendoza award? That would be great.
You should. I was going to mention that we should have a Mario Mendoza award for the worst batting average at the end of the season.
Yeah, I think I could do that. We can work on that for sure.
The Mario Mendoza.
I'm down with that. It's kind of like it's kind of like the whole toilet bowl thing.
It's the
but
mob toilet bowl.
It's a
mob
toilet. Yeah, Wink's like pick me.
It's a cinder block.
Oh, so
It's a
that's a
cinder
good
block.
that's a good point, Keith. Do we know? Chris is asking in the chat. Did Wink win the Mendoza award for week 1? Do we know who had the lowest batting average of everybody?
I'm looking.
Is that something
right
at your
now.
fingertips, or should I do another award first?
I believe it was Wink and. Okay, Wink
Ray?
and I believe it's Wink and Corn. Yeah, it's Wink and Corn are the two guys with the lowest batting average.
Not
this
Krieg,
week
huh?
Nope. Yeah, it's Wink and Corn with a .083.
So they didn't bat 100. Ouch.
Both went
Why,
1 for
why did
12.
Dave just randomly throw my name out there? What the
Wait,
fuck?
well, because you're the one who keeps throwing us under the bus tonight. Hey, so crazy Canucks player is Danny Morgan. He says he only had 1 hit.
Yeah, he went 1 for 10.
Oh,
week.
so about 100. Attaboy. Way to get those triple digits,
attaboy.
crazy. Way to get those triple digits, baby. All right, moving on to our third of 4 awards for week 1. The award we just gave was non-pitcher player of the week, so no pitchers allowed. The next one is pitcher of the week. Drum roll, Ray. This one was a runaway as well. We've talked about it extensively here tonight already about Gunny's dominance. Gunny got 31 out of 35, 1 vote shy of Benji's 32. Soto got 3, Chris got 1, Lisa didn't get any for week 1. I don't think this is a surprise either. I'll start at the top this time. Soto, was this a lot like Benji? Was this a no-brainer as well?
Oh yeah. I even though I appreciate whoever voted for me, but you're crazy. Not yet. Maybe these upcoming weeks, maybe I deserve those votes. But no, I voted for Gunny. It was just he was just good, man. He's just good. He was on it. And their team was good. Their relief pitching was good. But I mean, Gunny just was just setting them up, and our hitters just couldn't do shit, man. Most of the week, it's just he's a good pitcher.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Chrisley, you did actually. I think you pitched well too. I mean, your ERA was a little high, but otherwise, I think you pitched pretty well. Ray, did the mob get this one right?
Unfortunately, I have to sit here and say that they did get it right. That fucking knuckleball, man.
It's wild, right? It's wicked, man. Keith?
Yeah, this was another no-brainer. Although, yeah, Chris Lee does make a good point. His game 1 was really good. Game 2 was all right, and then game 3 was just the stinker.
Yeah. It seemed like so Lisa had a stinker game. Chris had a stinker game. Greg, did you have a stinker game?
Yeah. I think I did. Game 3, I think I gave up. I think it was game 3. I gave up like 5 or 6 runs, I think, or at least they were attributed to me.
Yeah, so everybody had a stinker game except for Gunny, of course, right?
I think I left with I think 3 runs or 4,
I think it was
and then
4.
But there was
4,
2
and
people
then I
on
had
base or something?
There was 2 people on base, and
Yeah, I do remember that.
Technically, Gunny did have a stinker game. He did get pulled early in the game 2 against us.
Oh, okay. Oh, you know what?
yeah,
Well,
which was crazy because he got pulled early, and I
did.
stayed until the 8th inning for 97 pitches, and he got out like at 50 some pitches. Which
Yeah,
was crazy.
I'm looking at my notes. Gunny was the only pitcher this week to earn a player of the game, which was in game 1. He had a no decision in week 2, and then he won game 3. So he went 2-0 with a player of the game and a no decision in week 2. All right, did I get? Yogi, you're the last one. Yogi, Gunny, pitcher of the week. What do you think?
Yes. When I bought my boat, I bought it from a dentist that lived in Moon, Virginia, and it was named Moon Pie. And I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm putting a boat in the water named Moon Pie. So I'm gonna rename my boat after Gunny and call it Mr. Nasty.
Mr. Nasty with a K.
Mr. Nasty.
Mr.
Yep.
Canasty. All right, awesome.
Mr. Canasty.
There's a new name for Keith.
Oh my God, another
Yeah, I
K
think-
name.
Hey, the K
Oh, no,
machine. What can I say?
I think we got it right. No
All right.
doubt about it.
So before I announce the last award, I want to go through and ask the panel, because this was the closest of all of the awards, and multiple. I think everybody. I can't remember how many there were, but I think everybody got votes on this one for play of the week. Soto, I'll start at you. We had the inside the Parker. We had the Lisa Webb gem. We had Rocco's walk-off homer, the club's double play, and then I think Anastasia Beaverhausen's
The hose.
the gun from right field. Was that all of
base.
them? 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's all of them. Soto, what do you think was the play of the week?
For me, it was Bumpy Johnson's inside the park. I didn't think I didn't even think he. I knew that Frank's player had missed the ball, but I didn't think that he was going to run all the way to home, which
Right.
was crazy. I mean, I almost had to go back because even in real time, I was like, "What the hell just happened?" And then you guys were like, "Oh my God, it's an inside the park home run!" And I'm like, "What the fuck?" So after the game, I had to go back and look at it again. I'm like, "Dude, that's fucking amazing. Week 1 already." I'm like, "That's sweet, man." So for me, it was that Bumpy, inside the park was just awesome.
Ray, what was the play of the week for you?
As much fun as it was to see an inside the park home run this early into the shit, I didn't expect that shit to happen until maybe like week 5 or week 6. I went with that beautiful 4-6-3 double play for the Cubs.
Oh, that was sweet with Rob spinning around. Yeah.
Yeah, that was absolutely magical and fast paced. Like, you could not time that up any better than how we did that.
Keith, who did you vote for, or who do you think deserves play of the week?
I think it was between Lisa's web gem at the mound and the inside the park home run. If I recall correctly, what happened with the inside Parker was Frank dove and missed the ball.
He did.
And then got up and started running and then stopped and waited for the center fielder to run all the way from center. And I want to say that happened a couple times, and someone got a triple off of it. So I don't think that'll be the only inside the Parker we see this season. Now, that being said, I'm not sure how often we're going to see a behind the back catch
on the mound
at the mound. And plus, I have seen an MLB player do that in person at a game. I still have absolutely no clue how those guys pull that off. So
it's blind luck, man.
It's luck.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. So I think that's what I ended up going with.
Okay, Yogi, last word on this one, and then we'll let everybody know who won play of the week.
I think I voted for Bumpy Johnson, but Anastasia's throw was a thing of beauty. If I didn't vote for that, I apologize, because you don't get to see that very often. It was just an unbelievable throw.
The great thing about that play, I think, Pink Lisa says, "It's not motherfucking luck, bitches. I'm just that good. Fuck off." Or something like that. I might be paraphrasing a little bit.
A
little bit. The cool thing about Anastasia's throw is that she dove for that ball to begin with, and it short hopped and it kind of got away from her for a minute, and she jumped up and just a rocket to third base, man. That was a great play too.
What is her build? What is her archetype?
Anastasia has. That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll have
just
to look
out of
it
curiosity.
up. Yeah. We'll look it up.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh, can you get it? Canasty.
She's an Aussie.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
So she's got the arm and the fielding and all that stuff. Yeah, that makes sense.
Got the arm. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
All right. So, with no further ado, the last award is Winkler's. Everybody's giving Pink Lisa some love in there. Wink says, "If only you were that good at remembering your keys." Oh my God, that's hilarious. Wink, you were on the phone. You were on the phone with. So, all right, Lisa, I got to tell this story, baby. Here's the deal, real quick. You know what? Story time with Dave is now been brought back into the show. Lisa goes to Nashville a lot of work. She travels all over the South now, once in a while to, like Chicago and whatever, but mostly just in the Southeast. And she goes to Nashville a lot. And she goes to Nashville so much that they gave her own office in that building. So she's got offices at a couple places. And they set her up with a nice desk, and it's got drawers that lock, and drawers that lock with nice keys. and Nashville, just so you guys know, it is about a 2.5 hour drive from Knoxville, 3 if traffic is bad. And there was a time a little while ago, and Lisa, you can correct me if I fuck any of this up, but she drove all the way there and thought that she hid her keys somewhere in the office, and she spent, gosh, I don't know what, baby, half a day, a couple hours at least, looking for those fucking keys. And can anybody in the chat or in the VC here guess where those keys were the whole time?
In her purse.
In Dave's pocket.
No, they were at fucking home, man. They were here in fucking Knoxville, 2.5 hours away.
Oh.
She forgot to take them. So hence Winkler's little joke. Dude, in the desk would have been even worse, right? Crazy. Wink. So today, when Lisa was leaving around noon Eastern to go to drive to Nashville for the next few days, I was on the phone with Wink, and I don't remember what the conversation was exactly, but it had something to do with making sure Lisa had her fucking keys. Lisa says in the chat, the real crappy thing is there are 3 keys just so you don't ever run into that situation, but I have them all in the same key ring.
I bet you're spreading out those fucking keys now, Lisa.
Oh, wait, is that what you were running around looking for today when I was on the phone with Wink? Is that why it got brought up when I was on the phone with him? That is fucking hilarious, but oh my God.
One's staying on the ring, one's going in the car.
One in the glove
I would
box.
hide one at the office, put one in the car, and one in my purse or something. But I don't always carry my purse though, so who knows? She said, oh yeah. She says yes. That was the conversation, and Wink says it sure was. All right, so there you go. Story time with Dave via Pink Lisa and Winkler. There you go. All right, last thing we're doing.
Duty story, but
don't, dude. If I ever get jury duty again, I will fucking do a whole YouTube fucking thing on it. Freddie is in the booth now, so he's telling me to hurry the fuck up so he can sing. So let's get this over with. Your week 1 play of the week is look at how close this was. So Bumpy wins, Lisa gets second, Rocco third, the Cubbies fourth, and Anastasia 5th. And here's how that broke down. You guys see the percentages on the screen. Bumpy got 12 votes. Lisa had 9. Rocco 7. Cubs 5. And Anastasia 2. Isn't that wild? 12, 9, 7, 5. That's fucking crazy. So a lot of appreciation there from the mob on all of these plays. And I think I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I voted for Lisa. I might have voted for Bumpy. I don't remember. But, I mean, as we all know, and as we all talked about, almost everybody had a different take here in the booth. And, I think that we're going to run into this every week. I'm going to go around the horn one more time. I'm going to start at the top with Greg. Greg, your thoughts on all these awards, just an overall view, and week 1 as we go into week 2 here in the mob.
Yeah, man, this is awesome. And just even talking about this last award right here, it just shows you, all the good plays that we're going to be seeing week in and week out, which is pretty cool in the league. And, there's just going to be some good plays. There's going to be some good plays for everybody. Though I do, the Rocco McLovin shouldn't even be up there, but anyways. And I am looking forward. I can't wait. Just facing the Orioles this week, I'm pumped. I can't wait. I think it's going to be some good series. Good to see St. Louis and the Yankees play. So I'm pumped for week 2. This will be pretty cool.
Yeah, I love that we had that many great plays. And you know what? So I want to throw a couple shout outs real quick. Ray and Crazy Canuck, thank you guys for doing all the fucking clips for us to go back and look through. I can't remember everything through the games. I literally had to go through all the clips to try to pick the ones. What's that?
I have to edit like game 2 and 3 clips.
Well, I mean, whatever. The point is, I appreciate you guys doing that. Crazy says, congrats, Bumpy. But if Frank doesn't dive, you wouldn't have been on this list, in my opinion. Way to take it away from him, Crazy. He's had it for like 30 fucking seconds.
Crazy, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Shut up.
Exactly. All right, Ray, your thoughts on the awards tonight and, wrapping up week 1 going into week 2.
I'm not surprised it was given the bumpy. I'd still like that 4-6-3 double play, but maybe I'm just a sucker for those types of plays.
Yeah.
Congratulations again to Bumpy. We're taking you out for ice cream the same way we did when you got me inside the park home run. Good job, kid. Proud of you.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold on a second. So somebody said every team was represented, but there's only 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So who wasn't on this?
The Yankees.
No, Lisa's with the Yankees.
No,
Oh,
Lisa's
never
on
mind.
it.
Sorry.
Orioles.
No, Anastasia's on the Orioles.
Steve's and
Oh,
Orioles.
every
That's
team
right.
got
That's
every
right.
team's there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Every team's there.
1, 2.
No.
Baby, there's
Yeah,
1, 2,
Rocco's
3.
on
The
cards.
Cubs.
Yeah.
There's only 5 teams.
Yeah.
There's only 5 dots. Oh fuck! We only have 4 teams.
There's 4 teams.
Shit! I'm already looking forward.
Everybody's covered.
I'm already looking to season 2 with 6 teams. My bad. All right.
Right.
Keith. How do you think everybody did on the awards? And last thoughts on weeks 1 going into week 2.
Yeah, I mean the awards kind of went as I would expect. I think a play that we're going to be voting on after the end of this week, I think we're going to see a walk-off home run.
Ooh, yeah.
So
That would be
I am
cool.
expecting to see that on the ballot this week.
I'd also like to.
And this is why your stats are not predictions. Okay.
There we go.
Well, hey, I also want to know who's going to get the first Grand Slam. That's going to be fun as well.
Oh,
so,
that's
yeah.
right.
Benji.
Rocco got close. He had 3.
Yogi, you got the last word on the show tonight, buddy. Your overall take on the awards, week 1 and going into week 2.
I think everybody voted great. I think we got good awards, but I just wanted to let Soto know that Hodge voted for McLovin. That was one of McLovin's votes.
Why, you motherfucker.
That's fucking wild. That's fucking great.
I can't wait till we play the Yankees.
That's fucking great.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to Beanball first at bat, I'm sure.
All right, before I bring,
Can we trade Hodge over to the Yankees?
yeah, ouch,
No, we don't want it.
dude. I think
He's shanked. He's in the
I
hospital.
heard a rumor he's getting cut and replaced anyway. So, but hey, you didn't hear it from me.
Oh,
You didn't
he
hear it
got
from
cut
me.
all right. He got cut all right.
We're flying to W
Yeah,
just for
the-
releasing
Dude.
Hodge.
Dude, I will laugh
parking lot,
my
he got cut.
Toothbrush.
I will laugh my ass off if he fucks up a game again here in week 2. I'm just saying.
Oh my God!
I will laugh my
Oh,
ass
you don't
off.
want-
Cut
want
with the
that.
sharpened
Dude, you don't want
toothbrush. He
that.
got cut.
Well, especially since you're playing
Yeah.
us. So I mean,
You don't want that to happen again.
Last-
I'm gonna go fucking ballistic.
last
I will go
I was gonna
scorched
go to jail.
earth. Dude, I'm gonna go scorched earth in the fucking server. I will go scorched earth if that
dude,
happens.
now I want it to happen even more. Oh
Now
my god.
you do, yeah.
Time out Soto
We need
in the
this.
Discord
I
server.
will
need
put
this.
out. I will put out a video of myself, and I will tag him in real life if that happens again.
Oh my god, I want to see
I
that
will
so
tag
bad.
that picture
Bro,
in real
dude, you
life.
don't. Hey, Greg, you don't have to sell me anymore, bro. I already want to see it.
We need it.
Dude, no, you don't want that. I'm gonna go scorched earth.
Oh my god.
Soto, we're
Plus,
holding you.
plus, I don't even like the Cubs anyways in real life. So I'll more than happy to take that.
Hey, so
if Hodge fucks up in week 2, you're just hearing this immediately.
right, yeah.
Yeah, you better cue that up. You better cue that up during the game if that happens again.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
great.
Keith, you were trying to say something, then we're gonna go.
Yeah, Soto, we're holding you to that. If he fucks it up, I
Exactly.
better see
Oh, you don't
something
have
on.
you don't have to.
Don't
hold
have
me
to
up.
worry.
I'll-
Oh no,
I
you,
better see
so,
something.
Soda will do it. He will do it. All right.
Okay.
Last shout outs before we bring Freddie in to sing goodnight to us. Speaking of which, Freddie in the chat along with Banfield, Gunny, Twin Screw, Biff, Chris Lee, Crazy Canuck, David Leathers, Wink, the lovely, amazing, perfect Pink Lisa, and a whole bunch of others. Biff Markham is still here, I think, and a couple others. Freddie, how you doing, buddy? Welcome back to doing shows, man.
Hey, it was good to be here, man. Missed it.
Well, we're gonna have it every week now, every Monday, right here. And so we got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then on Fridays we'll put out the stats and the ballots and all that shit. So we got like a 5-day-a-week thing going on here. So, Freddie, appreciate you coming in. And you're gonna sing for us this week too, right, for the games?
Yeah, I can do that.
All right, perfect. All right, Freddie, sing us home and let's
All right.
go. I think we might have gone a little over, so let's go ahead and get out of here.
All right, Mob. Here we go. Turn out the lights. The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Let's call it a night. The party's over. Until the next time we're the mob parties again. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for everybody being in the chat. Appreciate it. We got good numbers. We only have 39 people here. We're always in pushing around 30, which is great. Special thanks to Greg, Ray, Keith, and Yogi for jumping in and being on the chat. Thanks for Freddie for coming in at the last second to sing us goodbye. Congrats to all the winners, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow night at 7:30. It'll be 7:15, actually, 7:15 p.m. As we start week 2. We'll see how the progressions go, and we'll see if we get to see Soto on the news for killing a fucking Chicago reliever in real life. So thanks for being here. We'll see you tomorrow night. Good night now.